So hello everyone, we'll start our session again, and this session is about Twitter Bootstrap. Before we start this session, if you have any queries regarding earlier session, then you people can ask a question, or we will proceed the next session. If you face any problem in your machine room, then I think you people can ask a question. So no questions? Okay, then I will start the session. Next session is regarding Twitter Bootstrap. We also call it Bootstrap only, and this is basically a framework which we use to create mobile first applications. Mobile first application meaning to say is I'm going to create web sites or web applications which I will consider that maybe the people will use them more in the mobiles, though they will work on the desktop also, but I will consider that these are the applications which people will use on mobile mostly. So before I start this one, I would like to show one animation to you regarding the Twitter Bootstrap, and then we will start this next session. Just hide my video. Just give me a second, please. So there is some technical problem, so give me a few seconds. You know, election start to be. Okay, thank you. So I will start one animation regarding the Twitter Bootstrap, and I hope you'll understand this. I try to make this concept easy to understand.
Responsive websites change their appearance and layout based on the size of the screen on which they are accessed. However, when it comes to designing such responsive websites, people use HTML and CSS. This requires a lot of time and effort. A lot of coding is required to add even small functionalities in your website. As technology has improved, there are many frameworks available in the market that can ease your task. of creating responsive websites. Twitter Bootstrap is one such framework. It is one of the most popular front-end frameworks that is used to create responsive websites. It includes HTML and CSS-based design templates and JavaScript plugins to create user interface components such as forms, buttons, tables, navigations, drop-downs, alerts, and tabs. Twitter Bootstrap offers ready-to-use code that helps developers to create responsive and mobile-first websites in a shorter period of time. Web developers do not have to spend much time laboriously writing code, but simply find the exact piece of code and fit it into their website. For example, if you want to add a button or navigation bar in your website, then you can use the predefined piece of code provided by Bootstrap and fit into your website as shown in the following figures.
So, as I said earlier also, this time, at the present time, in the present scenario, most of the time we want to create a website and we need a website responsive by nature. I want that all websites should be responsive so that it can render properly on my mobile devices or my laptop or my desktop or my tablets. Okay, and to make a responsive website, I have an option. I can create responsive websites using an HTML5 and CSS3. I will also use jQuery. Only the problem which I have to face is I need to write more and more code. And in the present era, you can see we don't have much time to to write the code, and we want something which can help us to create a website in a less time, and that too I need to create a website which are attractive, and I need to write a less thing. I need to write a less maybe CSS code, okay, or maybe a jQuery code. So Bootstrap helped me to create a responsive websites, okay, and present time, most of the times people make a website using a Twitter Bootstrap. We have some other options to make a responsive web, different tools we have, okay, but we are covering the Twitter Bootstrap in this course. So I'll start this with the introduction of my Bootstrap. What is basically a Bootstrap? As I explained just now that in the current scenario we want to make a responsive web, and for that we need to write a lot of HTML and CSS code, and this makes me tired sometimes. And what I want to do is I want to use a tool which can help me to create a web which is responsive in nature, and I need to write less. So what is a Twitter Bootstrap? According to the definition, it is a popular front-end framework, and it is used to create a responsive websites. What I use to create a Twitter Bootstrap, let me clear one thing. This is basically a library which is created using a HTML5, CSS, and a JavaScript. It means to say is something which I was doing earlier using HTML5 and CSS. For that I need to write the code manually, and what they have did here now is they already helped me to create the designs or create the class, and I will just do what I will use those class in my web page, and I will get the effect, maybe the font, or maybe the design, maybe the color, so many things. Okay, so animation, we already you saw this animation. And what are the features of the Bootstrap? The first feature of the Bootstrap is it saves time. As I said earlier, it is a framework, and that framework I will use to create my responsive web. What I will do is I will try to just copy the code from the website which I am going to use, and I will copy that code from the website, a Twitter Bootstrap website, and I will paste that in my web page, and I can use that. Okay, so simply whatever control I want to use, whatever HTML element I want to use, what I need to do is I will copy that code from my Bootstrap official website, and then I will paste in my web page. Then another feature, it is responsive. As I said, we can open that web page on any device and it will render properly. Then Twitter Bootstrap websites you can open on any web browser. There is no compatibility issue with browsers when I use a Twitter Bootstrap. Then it provides a consistent design. This is something which is a drawback of Bootstrap also, and this is a plus point of a Bootstrap also. It meaning to say is, what I want to say is that when I create a website using a Twitter Bootstrap, I will use the design which are already predefined, and whenever I want to use that, maybe any element, so I choose the design, I choose the template, I will put into my web page. Okay, so the plus point is what, if I will create 10 page or 15 page, most of the time the design is consistent. It's like, for example, if I'm creating my own HTML page, just I'm using HTML5 and CSS3, okay, maybe sometime I can make any human error and maybe the design change, maybe color change, or maybe font size change, but in this case, as such, there is no reason to change, because every time I will do what, I will use the same code and the design will remain same. Okay, so this is one plus point of a Bootstrap. Some people criticize that Bootstrap is not good because every time the design of the elements remain same. So this is you can say it is a plus point also, and it is one of the drawback of the Bootstrap also. It is very easy to use. As I said, you need to just copy from the website and you need to put into your web page. One another feature we have is it is an open source. You no need to pay for it. You just need to visit to their website and you just need to copy the code, and then you can put in your web page and you can use that. So all these are the features: save time, responsive, browser compatibility, no issue, and designs are consistent, very easy to use, and it is an open source. Okay, no need to pay like we have a PHP, and same like we have a Linux, same thing. Now, how to use a Twitter Bootstrap? Again, we have two options. I can download the library file of Twitter Bootstrap on my computer, or what I can do is I can directly use a CDN of the Bootstrap library files in my web page. So both of the options I will explain to you, and how to use this. You just need to do one thing: just open the Google and just type a Twitter Bootstrap. So whenever you will type this Twitter Bootstrap, and they will open one web page here, Twitter Bootstrap. So this is the home page of the Twitter Bootstrap. If you want to download this, what you can do is you can just click on this, and they will open this page for you. Now, let me show you this on my screen. Please hide my window. So you can see over here, this is one I'm saying something. If you are trying to use a Twitter Bootstrap, you can open a Google just type the Twitter Bootstrap, okay, and then you will open a Twitter Bootstrap. Over here, this is one link. You can just try to open it and it will display this page for you, okay. Now if I want to download the library of my Twitter Bootstrap, I have an options. First option is compiled and minified CSS. Like I give the example to you, like when I was using AngularJS or a Knockout, what I did is I tried to download the library files and I put those files in my website and then I use that. So same option I have here is I can click on this one, download Bootstrap, this option, and this is basically a one option which I can use, and I will get the compiled Bootstrap library files, and it contains the minified version of my CSS and JavaScript files. Whenever I will use a Bootstrap for CSS, as I said earlier, a Bootstrap includes HTML, CSS, and maybe a jQuery. So for CSS they made a separate file, and for the JavaScript they made a separate file. Okay, so HTML structure I will create. Okay, means whenever I want to use a web page, the structure of my web page I will create, and rest the style or maybe the effects which I want to use, that I will get from my Bootstrap. Now first version which I am talking about is compiled version, and it will get the minified files for me. I will download this and I can use this. How to download? Just you need to click on this. So here may be a problem of internet speed. So you can see over here, download is finished now, and I will open this folder on my screen. Okay, this is one folder, and if you will extract this folder, you will get the files here. Okay, CSS file we have over here, and JavaScript files we have at this place. Then we have files for fonts over here. Now how can I use this? Okay, how can I use a Bootstrap? The first option which I am going to explain here, just please concentrate on my machine now. What I will do is, wherever I want to use this, let's say for example I want to make a new website, so I will say empty website at this place. Okay, and I will say right click, I will click on new folder, and I will say CSS. I will create one folder to add my CSS file. Then I will create another folder for my JavaScript files. Okay, and then if I want to add some images, so I will add one folder for images. Okay, you can add images. If you want to use fonts, so what I will do is I will create another folder. It depends. So this is I am trying to create a structure of my website, and I will add my pages, maybe web pages, or maybe JavaScript files, or images, or my style sheet files in these folders. So I am trying to make another file for fonts. So this, now I already download these files from here, this place. Okay, now just try to understand they did what when I download this in my computer, they give me both version of this file. You can see a bootstrap and bootstrap min. I'm talking about CSS file. You can find over here a bootstrap CSS and bootstrap.min CSS. Both files have the same functionality. The only difference which here you will find that this file is a minified file. As I said, this file, extra space, white space has been removed so that the size of the file become less. This is another file which includes white space also and some extra space with my content to make it readable. The difference you can find over here, bootstrap.min, how much is the size? 111 KB, and when I say bootstrap, so 134. So the size of my this bootstrap.min.css file is lesser than bootstrap file. So I will recommend that you can copy this file instead of copy this. You can also see one inside view of this. You can see when I use a bootstrap, this is in a readable form. We can read this because white space is provided, extra spaces is provided. Now if I try to open a bootstrap.min file, so you will find that this is not easy to understand because the white space has been removed. So what I will do is, because I don't want to update this, I just want to use this. So I will copy this file from this place to my CSS folder, something like this, bootstrap.min.css. Okay. Then what I can do is, I also need a JS file, bootstrap.js file. Remember, I said inside the bootstrap I have a CSS file separate and JavaScript file separate, because inside the JavaScript there are some plugins which I can use in my web page. So I will go here and I will choose a bootstrap.min file rather than choosing a bootstrap file. Both are different files. You can see over there it was CSS and here is JavaScript file. So I will copy this file over here and I will put it into my this folder. Paste. Okay, so two files I use. Now sometimes when I use a bootstrap.min.js file, because this is a file which I use to use a bootstrap plugins. So maybe sometimes the plugin which I will use here in this file, which are given in this file, maybe need a jQuery file. So what I will do is I will also download the jQuery file, or if I don't want to download the jQuery file, I can add the CDN of that. Okay, so if I have this on my system, what I will do is, let's say I have this file. I will try to find this file somewhere in my system. Yeah, this is my file, jQuery file. So I can do one thing, that I can copy this file and I can put it into my this folder. Okay, so this is just one structure. I am going to make a structure of my website which contains a different folders, you can call directories, and I will try to club all the related documents in the folder. If it is JavaScript, I will put in the JavaScript, and CSS I will put into the CSS. Now, one more example I have here is, folder I have is fonts. If I want to use images, I mean to say is, sometimes when I create a website, I need some icons, like maybe in the website we use icon for home, for about us, for download. so many icons which we use in our website, maybe the navigation, maybe the left, maybe the right. Okay, so all these small icons, Bootstrap helped us to club them into one file, and they saved them as a name of the font. For example, let's say we always use a font family, like we use a font family Times New Roman, we use Arial. So in a Bootstrap, whenever I want to use some icons, let's say I want to use a home icon, so home icon have a small image. So Bootstrap did what? They stored all these small images in a one place and give them the name of the, maybe the name of the class, and whenever I want to use that icon, I will just give the name of that class and I can use icon in my web page. So all these are given inside the folder which we download just now over here, fonts. Okay, so we will copy this and we can put this in our folder. If I don't want to use icons, so I think we can skip this. If I don't want to use icons somewhere in my website, I will ignore this. Okay, not required. So this is how I will just create one structure of my website. So I will move next now. Look at this slide now. So two options I have here. First option I already explained, compiled Bootstrap. It means to say is I will get the library files compiled versions. And second option is Bootstrap source. It meaning to say is again I will get the Bootstrap library files, but I will get them along with their codes. Maybe I want to update them. Okay, maybe I want to, maybe for example, if I have a class and maybe I want to add some extra feature to that class and I want to customize that according to my choice, I can use a second option, and I can download that. The compiler of the Bootstrap, all these things will available in this second option. But what I'm trying to do here in this course is I'm not covering the second part. I'm just trying to help my students to let them understand how they can create a website using a Bootstrap. Just only that thing. It's not that I'm teaching that how to edit the existing classes and add a new feature inside the existing classes. Okay, so my focus is only on the first version. How can my student use a Bootstrap to create a website? Yes, Rajiv, you are asking again about the advantages of Bootstrap. As I said, this is one JavaScript library, or you can say it's a framework. Bootstrap is a framework which will help me to create a responsive website. Okay, and there are many advantages of a Bootstrap. First advantage is it is easy to use. Okay, it saves my time. How it save my time? Because I will just copy code from the website and I will put into my web page. Okay, there is no issue of browser. Okay, on every browser it will work, and then I can use some inbuilt JavaScript plugins in my web page. Okay, for that earlier I was writing the coding, but this time I will not write the code. And the design, when I create a website using a Bootstrap, the design remain constant. Okay, design remain constant of the classes which I use with my elements. This is the advantage of the Bootstrap. One disadvantage I shared with you is only that sometimes if the design of the my website is always remain same. People maybe feel sick of that every time the design is same and I cannot modify it. So this is something which is not good. Okay, so this is something which people can think. Remember one thing: Bootstrap applications are always why we create a website using a Bootstrap by keeping in mind that I will create a website maybe for the mobiles. Okay, but these applications work probably also on my laptop and my desktop. So I'm moving forward now. This is the structure of the folder which I download from the internet. The first, this one, okay, and this is the second one. So in this, if you download this second option, you will get so many inbuilt examples also. The example which we use to create maybe the web pages. So you can use this. I will say that if sometimes think that you want to make a web using a Bootstrap and internet is not available with you, what you can do is you can download the second option, and because there are some inbuilt examples inside the second option, you can download on your system, and then later you can work offline anytime, because the example or the templates which I use in a Bootstrap all are given in the second option. You need to use something, copy that code from that example and put it in your web page, and you can use that. So two options I have here. So as I said, Bootstrap provides an environment in which I have to just use the code. I will not write the code. Yes, I need to write the code to create a structure of my web page. Remember, I again repeat, to make the structure of my HTML page, I need write a coding of HTML. But yes, to design that web page, I no need to write the any coding. I can just use the classes provided by the Bootstrap. Now, this example I just explained to you on my laptop, so I will continue to that, and I will just explain how to create one web page using a Bootstrap. As I said earlier, whenever I want to use a feature of HTML5 at the top, I always need to write the doc type. Okay, so I will always write at the top, doc type is HTML. Then I need to write another element here is meta, and inside that meta I will use a attribute cat set, because as you know that UTF-8 format most of the time supports all the words which we use in the different languages, like UTF-8 support all letters, alphabetics. Okay, so we use ATF-16 for maybe the local language, like we have a Chinese and maybe Japanese or maybe a Korean. Okay, but whenever I want to create one website and I want that whatever alphabet, whatever symbol I use in that website, it will open properly on my web page. So I will say meta cat set UTF. Okay, then after that there is another tag, the problem which comes with IE only. Okay, I will write one tag whose name is meta http equiv x UA compatible content IE ads. So this line I am writing to inform my browser that if I am using the IE, I recommend that we will work only on G Chrome. We will not work on another a browser like Firefox or this IE, but still, as I said that Bootstrap supports most of the time all the browsers, but only have a problem with the old browser of IE. So I want to say that if I am using an IE and I want to use the latest compile engine for that, so I will write this line. Here it means this line meta HTTP this XU compatible content IES. It means to say is I want to inform my web browser that use the latest IE engine to render the web page. Then the viewport concept will come over here. In every mobile first web application, you need to write the meta tag. Either you can write in your CSS or either you can write down in your HTML part. So better practice is, okay, I can write it on my HTML. So meta name equal to viewport and the content equal to same something which I explained in my yesterday's session, width equal to device width. So it meaning to say is, now what is the viewport size? Whatever is the size of my screen. Okay, so these are the beginning elements which I need to add in my web page every time. Then I have a coding for this, and I will switch to my laptop now to explain in detail. I have created some examples for you, and so you can find over here again, like I displayed to you earlier. I have a CSS folder, and this CSS folder I put some files of CSS. I put bootstrap.css, I put bootstrap bin.css, responsive CSS. Okay, so if you want to remove this, okay, you can remove. You can put only that CSS file which you are going to use. So for example, let's say if I want to use only a bootstrap min.css, this one, so I can remove this file, I can remove this file, I can remove this file. Okay, it's not a problem. And in this I can also add my own CSS file. So maybe at some time I want to use my own styles to maybe to customize or to manipulate my HTML elements. So I can also create my own CSS. I created my css.css file here to add some design, which is my own design. I have one another folder I use here, so that maybe I want to add some pictures. Okay, and then I have another folder which is for JavaScript. Okay, JS. Again I have these files, Bootstrap, jQuery. Okay, so now how to create one simple example of a Bootstrap. I'm going to start with that. You can find on my screen now these elements I just explained to you. Okay, whenever I want to create one Bootstrap web page, initially I need to write doc type, HTML, head, okay, meta, UTF I said, and I want to inform that use the latest engine for IE, and then I want to inform that use a viewport, and what is the size of viewport? I said device width and initial scale is 1. Okay, then after I am trying to add one bootstrap.min.css file. Okay, so I am writing link href equal to css bootstrap.min.css file because I need to add this file, and where it is here in CSS. So I will write css bootstrap.min.css. Okay, then I am trying to write something, I want to display something, I use H1 tag. I am just giving a message hello world. And yesterday's session I explained to you, we most of the time we try to add jQuery files at the bottom of the page, so that first my web page will load in the memory, and then we can perform whatever action I want to perform using the jQuery files. So what I did is, over here I try to add the jQuery file. jQuery file name is 2.1.1, and let me see, this file is not same as that one, so I need to change this. So you can download the jQuery latest version using this link, jQuery.com, and then download. Okay. So we have options here. We have option jQuery 1.x, and we have an option jQuery 2.x. What is the difference here? You can see it's written here. jQuery 1.9 has some changes. Okay, so after that we use here this one. Okay, jQuery 1.11.1. okay, but if I use this version jQuery 2. Maybe X, maybe 2.1 or 2.2. If I use jQuery 2.1 or 2, it will not work on the old browsers. So if you think that maybe anyone can use an old browser, so I will not recommend you to download the second version. Okay, what we can do is we can download this version. So we have a minified version and we have a normal version. What I can do is I can click on this, download the compressed production jQuery. I will click this and just keep this file. This is the file, and you can copy this file and take it to your this folder. Put this over here and you can delete this one. Okay, and when you want to add the reference of this file, just you need to come to this place and give the reference of this file. Okay, so like this, I can say JS jQuery 1.11.1.min.js file, and a bootstrap file. I have this file, bootstrap file, this place. I don't want a bootstrap.js file. I will use a bootstrap min.js file. Okay, now if I will click on this, and this is my basic page, I will say launch on browser, so it will display my web page. Okay, so this page is responsive by nature. Okay, now because I am using a bootstrap, but still how to create my web page responsive, this I will explain after some time. I already tried to just explain the library which we will use in this, and then I also need to make a container for my web page in my bootstrap, and I also need to maybe use a grid system in my web page, this is something which I will explain after some time. Okay, so just to understand, this is the example of a bootstrap. You will think that nothing is new, same as HTML. Okay, why I'm using this? Because this is just a structure. I am not using any feature of bootstrap until now. Okay, now what I did is I used the library files which I download and I put into this folder or this folder. Now if I don't want to download the files, okay, I told you that we have an option. We can directly use the CDN of that library file. Now here to get the CDN of that, you can see over here on the same page at this place, the CDN are given at this place. You can copy the CDN from this place, okay, and you can write it on your web page. So what I am doing here, you can see this this initial part is same. Initial part is same, nothing is different. Here you can see I try to add the reference of my CSS file, but I'm not giving the local reference and I'm giving the reference of my CDN. So if this time, if this web page I will not write inside this structure and maybe I put it somewhere on my desktop, this place I put it on my desktop, I don't have any structure of my bootstrap because the files which I'm using here are using the CDN. Okay, so I no need that directory structure. I will just click this, open this, and it will work properly. Okay, any questions? Hello. Hello. Can you hear me?
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Sir.
Yes.
Hello. Yes, sir.
What's the problem?
No, sir. There was some issue here in the lab. That's the reason I couldn't hear what you were typing, sir.
Okay, you said it's not visual. You mean my desktop is not
That was
visual to
back
you?
then, sir. No. That was back then when you started with explaining the various that metadata thing. I couldn't see the slides, sir. Back then. Now I can see the whole thing. It got changed, sir. It got corrected.
Okay. Thank you. But please, I request again that be seated on your chairs, okay? Don't go for roaming here and there. It's a session for you only, not for me. I only learned this. Okay, moving forward now. Any other person have any question? Then you people can ask me the question. Then I will move next. I explained both the options. If you want to create a structure of your website, and you can create a structure, download the files in your system, and then you can use. This is very useful when you are using offline, you are working offline. But when you are working online, so I recommend that, okay, you can just write the CDN name, okay. If you have a good internet speed, okay, not a problem. So this is the first demo, how I use the Bootstrap page. Okay, this is something you need to understand now. If you remember in the very first day when I tried to create one web page, I told you that whenever I start to make one web page, I always create a container first. Why I create a container? Because I want to display my website, my web page content inside that container. So the same thing we use in a Bootstrap. To create a container, we have two options in our Bootstrap. In Bootstrap, first option is a container, and second is container fluid. Okay. Now, I will explain with the example. Before I come to these two things, I will try to explain to you how we started in the first day. Okay, on the first day we started how to create a web page. I will just give one simple example to you, and then I will come to the Bootstrap container, and then you can relate that what is the difference in simple HTML and the Bootstrap. Okay, so let's see with example. Please look at this place now. On the very first day, I told you that if I want to make a web page and I need to create a container, and what I need to do is I need to use one HTML element which work as a container, and that element it may be a div, okay, or maybe any other element I can use, just like we have a section. So in this example, I try to create one a container, and that container element name is div. Okay, so div ID container, and I want to display it on the center of the screen, and I also want to give the width of my container. The first option which I gave to you that day is I can do what? I can give the size. For example, I give 800 pixels. Okay, and I save this program, and I'll try to run this program just like this. Okay, this was the first example which I explained to you in the first day. But when I try to use a container like this, it becomes adaptive by nature, and if I will try to open this web page in a smaller screen, so you can find over here what we will get is we will get a horizontal scroll bar. Okay, it makes my web page adaptive by nature, and on the first day I told you that we will make a responsive page. So for that we try to add the fluidity, and to add the fluidity I told you that we can use the percentage. So if I'm saying the 80% of the screen, so it means it will render on my device screen, and it will render on 80% of the screen size. So like this you can find over here. Okay, now to make something like this, what I did is I need to create a CSS, and I write this over here. You can see if I will not use a CSS, and I am just writing this, and I try to run this page, so it's something like this. Okay, and to visualize it I try to use this style over here. Okay, just think I am giving this only background, and it will work like this. Okay, now to add fluidity, I write this coding over here, and over here I also put a margin 0. If I will not put a margin 0 over here, you will see it will give me a margin on my web page and also give a little padding. So you can see this place. Okay, so it means to create a structure such like this one. Okay, I need to write the CSS, and what is my expectation from the bootstrap? I want that I just want to use this element div, and over here I want to specify the name of the class, and this work I will not do. Who will do this work? Bootstrap will do this work for me. Okay, so this is the concept which we will use inside the bootstrap. I have two options. Either I will use a fluid or I will use a fixed. So when I am using this one option, this one, it meaning to say is what? I am saying fluid. Okay, and if I am using this option, it means I am using a fixed. So same thing we have in our bootstrap. We have one class whose name is container, and we have another class whose name is a container fluid. So you can see over here, if I'm using this one option, it create a web page. Okay, and become adaptive. Okay, you can see scroll bar is coming on my screen, and the second option which I use is I can write the percentage. I am writing over here 100%. It means I want to use whole screen of my web browser. So you can see it includes a fluidity now on my web page. Now when I use a Twitter bootstrap, I have two options to use. Either I can use a container or I can use a container fluid. Okay, so without going to the slide which I showed to you just a few minutes ago regarding the bootstrap and bootstrap grid system, as you can see on the screen over here, I'm talking about something which is written at this place. I will not explain this thing for the moment, and I will explain this thing maybe after 5 or 10 minutes after explaining the container and container fluid. Okay, so just look at the example on my screen. I am using a bootstrap now, and these things I will not explain every time. Okay, I use HTML code, and I try to add the CDN for my CSS file, and at the bottom I try to add the JavaScript files, library files CDN. Okay, so I will not explain that. Only one thing you can find over here: div, class, a container. Okay, now listen carefully. This class container is inbuilt class in a bootstrap. Okay, this is not which I am writing like in the earlier program over here. In this program I was writing if I am writing here class, and if over here I am writing something like this. So this time in my HTML page, you can see when I am not using a bootstrap, and if I am writing a container class, okay, I have to do this manually. Okay, but because I am not using a bootstrap. But in case of the bootstrap, when I am using a container class, it means now I am talking about the class which is inbuilt in a bootstrap, and it will do what? It will give me the width of my container according to the size of my device screen. Okay, let's say for example, if I am using a device screen, it's a laptop screen, and it is wide, maybe a 976 pixel wide. Okay, for example, just to let you understand, I have a device that is a laptop, and I'm trying to open this web page on the laptop. So the width of my screen is 976 pixels. Okay, so it will do what? It will give me a width of maybe a 700 or 800 pixel for my container, and it will display my container in the middle of the screen, which I was doing earlier in my HTML page manually, something like this. Okay, so just have a look for this first. I try to run this program. See here, I'm trying to run this program, and what I'm writing over here, you can see on this page, div class, okay, container. You can find my CSS. I'm not giving any width, okay, no width here. I'm just giving the background color so that we can identify the container area. So I'm giving a background color only this, and you can find when I run this page, it gives me a margin in the left also and in the right also, and it displayed my page at the very top of my browser. Okay, and I did nothing. I am not writing any CSS for that. But when I try to run this page, you can see, and I try to run this page over here now, you can see over here, it is giving me a fluidity. Yes, you can see whole page. I can see, you can see also, I think, see this place, it is increasing. Okay, and it depends which kind of device, which type of device I am using. As I said, if I am using a device whose size is maybe 976, it meaning to say is I'm talking about the medium device screen. One is large, maybe my LCD or maybe my big desktop. Medium is my laptop maybe, okay, and small, maybe my smartphone, maybe 4-inch or 5-inch, and extra small, it means my small mini mobiles, maybe my Nokia mobiles, okay, like that. So I try to use the container class here. Okay, another class which just now you saw, that is a container fluid. A container fluid and container have a difference. As I said, container will give me the fixed layout initially, okay, and when I use a container fluid, it will cover the whole width of my screen. Another example you can find here, same coding, only difference over here is I add a class whose name is container fluid, and this is the inbuilt class. Remember, these both are the inbuilt class of the Bootstrap. One will give me the size, fixed width size, okay, and second will give me the size of whole device screen. Now when I will run this page, you can see over here it will cover the whole screen of my web browser. If I try to make the small size of my browser, you can see it will render according to the size of the browser. You can say it will render according to the size of the device screen. So two classes, container and container fluid. Yes, any questions now? Yes, please. Any questions? Yes, please ask your questions. See, when I'm using a container fluid class, it means to say is it will cover the whole size, whole width of my screen. Okay, and if I am using a container, when the Bootstrap guys, they made a class whose name is container. What they use a concept. They use a concept that if the size of the screen is, for example, if the size of the screen is a medium device, maybe the laptop, and I consider that the laptop screen size is at least 1024. Okay, so what I will do is I will give a fixed width for that. Okay, that is maybe written in the slide also. I will give the example on slide here. Just give me a second. I will come to my slide. See at this place. When I use a container, he said you can use the container class to create a container that is aligned in the middle of the screen. Okay, and the width of container depends upon the size of the device. See, I am not sure that which kind of device user going to use, but when they create a Bootstrap, they divide the device screen in 4 size. Okay, what they did is they divide the size of the screen in 4 categories, you can say. One is extra small, as I said, the mobile whose screen size is less than 320 pixel. Okay, very small device, less than 320 wide pixels. Then I use a small device, maybe my handheld small devices, maybe the tablets or phablets. Maybe the size of the screen is maybe a 4.5, or maybe the 5 inch or 4.5 inch. Okay, so mean the size of the pixel may be 480 or less than 600. Then the third category is the medium device. When I am coming to medium device, it may be the laptop or maybe the iPad, a big iPad, you know, the full iPad screen is a medium device. And then I have a large device. I'm talking about maybe the desktop screen. So as given in the example over here, you can see, for example, for the small device such as a tablet, you can see a tablet. As I said, for example, if I have a iPad and I think that maybe iPad or maybe the small laptop, and it has a width of 970 pixel as per the example given on the screen. So such as you can see, for example, for the small device such as tablet, the width is 750. So they divide the category into 3 parts. See here. One class name is XS, and one is SM, small, medium, and then is medium, and then is that LG, XS, SM. They divided these classes in 4 categories. Let me see the names. These are the name of the classes which we use. Okay, so I have a XS class, and I have a SM class, and I have MD class, that is for the medium, and then we have a LG class, that is for the large screen. Now you can see on the table look at the screen here. See, I have 4 categories of the device screen. I have a extra small, I have a small, medium, and then a medium, and then a large. Okay, so you can see when I'm saying extra small, the size of the device screen is not fixed. Okay, but when I'm saying small devices, and you can see it will give me the container size is 750. Meaning to say is, for example, let's say if I am using a container class over here, okay, I am giving the example of container class. If this is a class, a container, and if my device is what? If my device is maybe iPad, okay, and maybe you can see the size of maybe the iPad is greater than 768, okay, or I can say maybe 780 or 900. I can say, just presume that 900. So I want that if the size is maybe greater than 768 for any device whose size is greater than 768 pixel, I will give a container size 750 pixel. Okay, if I have a device whose screen is greater than 992 pixel, I will get the container size 970 pixel. If I will get the device screen size is greater than 1200 pixel, so I will get the size of my container is 1170 pixel. Okay, so it meaning to say is, just look at the paper now again. If I use a paper and if it is a mobile, okay, so over here, what is the size of the container? It's not fixed. It will cover all, okay. Then when I am saying small, it meaning to say is, I said that maybe the screen size over here, screen size is how much? Screen size is maybe greater than 768 pixel. So what is the container size I will get? Container size I will get this, and the size is maybe a 750. Okay, when I'm coming to my medium devices, so if I'm using a medium device, and let's say the size of the screen is greater than 992 pixel, so how much is the size of my container? Size of the container will be 970 pixel. Same thing applies to my large device screens. When I have a screen size greater than 1200, so what I will do is, this bootstrap will give me by default, okay, this is by default, this will give me the size of the container as 1170. Okay, this is something which I was trying to explain. I will go back to my previous slides. Containers, I think now the concept need to be clear, okay, that when I use a container and when I use a container class, my bootstrap will give me the fixed size of the container, but it depends which kind of device screen I am using. If I'm using a mobile device, small mobile device, the size of the container is not fixed, it is fluid, okay. But when it comes to the device, when I'm using a screen size is greater than 768 pixels, so it means the container size which I will get is 750. When I am coming to my medium device, so if the size of the screen is 992, it means I will get the container size 970 pixel. And same thing applies to large. When the size of the screen is 1200 pixel or greater than that, I will get the container size is 1170. But when I use a container fluid, it means it will cover the whole screen. It does not matter that how much is the size of my screen. Okay, this is the difference. Yes, please, any questions? Of course, every time, whenever you create any web page, every time you need to add the reference of your CSS file and a bootstrap.js file and a jQuery file. Okay, this is a necessity. When you will find your SGs, it is clearly mentioned over there that whenever I will create a bootstrap web page, I need to add the library file at the beginning. Okay, at the beginning when I start to create a web page. Yes, please, any question? So, no questions? So I think I can move forward now. Okay. Yes, please ask questions. Somebody try to ask question. Raise your question, please. No questions? So I will move next, and then don't forget that I will come here, okay, to explain this part. This is something which I explained now. I use a container class, okay. Then I use a example. This example I displayed to you. I use another class, container fluid. I said it will cover the whole page. Then this was the example I just explained to you. Now try to come to this place, okay. Whenever I want to create a layout of my web page, as I said, Bootstrap always use a grid layout. A grid layout meaning to say is maybe my web page is further divided into grids. Now look at this page on the screen. This web page has 3 rows. You can see header, content and a footer. 3 rows you are finding over there. Then you can find one another thing. Second row is further divided into 2 parts. It means here I am using a grid. Okay, now I will come back to my this slide here now, this slide, and try to understand the third step which I am writing over here. Bootstrap uses a grid system that is based on a 12-column grid where the width of each component of a web page is specified in the term of the number of columns it occupies. The width of any component cannot be more than 12 columns. Okay, now what is the meaning of this thing? To understand this, again we need to come to that table. Here, okay, look at the page again. Just try to understand my meaning. What I am going to explain now here is, I already create a container, okay. Just think that I have created a page and I use a container class. Container class, okay. And please make it on full screen. Make it on full screen. I have created a web page and I already use a container. Let's say, for example, I am using this on the mobile, maybe on tablet, and the size of the screen was maybe a 970, okay, and I got maybe the size of the container is 950 pixel, okay. So it means this is a 950 pixel area. Okay, now I said it may be the page is divided into grids. Now just think that, for example, I just explained one example to you, that we have a web page something like this, okay, and at that time I showed that over here is a header, and over here is a content, and over here is a footer. Just a few minutes ago, I read one line that said that in a bootstrap, one row can contain a maximum 12. Okay, maximum 12 columns. Try to understand my meaning. It meaning to say is, if this is a row, this row further I can divide into columns, but these columns cannot exceed more than 12. It means over here I can use only in one row I can use only the 12 columns. Now look at the screen. Look at the screen and look at the extra small device. When I use the extra small device, in my extra small device, I will how much columns I can create in one row? I can create 12 columns. When I am coming to my small devices, how much columns I can create in one row? It meaning to say is 12. You can see for the medium 12, for the large 12. Okay. Now, what is the meaning? Meaning is, see here, the concept of bootstrap. It means if I use one div tag over here, and this place I said a class equal to, I said class is container. When I said class is container, so this div I closed at this place. Now, whenever I want to add something in my web page, what thing I have to do is over here I need to create another container, and I need to use a class, and that class name is row. Meaning to say is, inside the container, if I want to divide my web page further into grid, I need to use a class name is a row. So it will do what? It will help me to create one row. Okay, something like this. You can see the first example I gave to you. It will help me to create a row like this. Okay, if I am not using this div and this row, again it meaning to say is, in my web page I have only one row, and maybe that row further I can divide into maybe the columns. Okay, but if I am trying to add another div, maybe over here another div, so it means another row is added in my web page. So let's have a look with a practical example of the row, and I hope that will give a clear picture to you. Look at the page. This is my web page. I will try to reduce the size so that you can see this clear. Yes, please. You can look here. I have a web page, and in this web page I try to divide this web page into 3 rows. One is a header, another is a content, and another is a footer. 3 rows. Okay, so how to create a structure of this page? It means when I create a structure of this page, I use one container. Okay, you can see because this is coming on the middle of the screen. Yeah, it means there must be a container class, no container fluid class, only container, because I'm getting a margin in my left side, and I'm also getting margin in my right side. It means there must be a class whose name is container. After that, I'm getting 3 different rows. It means I already use 3 different div inside the container, and those div I use with a class name is row. Let's have a look with my code part now. Look at the coding. See? Come to this place. See, I have a container. Okay, div class container, and this class finished here. You can see container. Okay, So this class finished over here. Now I want to create one row, so I create a div. You can see over here this row is a predefined class. Okay, 3 predefined class until now I explained 3: a container, container fluid, and row. So div class row, and I give the ID to that div tag. Over here a header, and again I create another row, see, and another row, and then I bind my container class. This place is closed here. Okay, now when I am looking this page on my browser, over here I am also getting some colors, and for that I use a CSS. Over here you can see for the container I am not using any width. Okay, you can see this place. When I use a container, I just give a border. This border is visible on your web page. You can find over here one border is coming on the edge of left side, right side, bottom, and the top. Okay, so after that, site header, you can see site header. This is one class which I used over here. Then is content section, a class I use over, sorry, the ID I use over here, and then the site footer ID I use over here. So just one thing you must understand: when I create a layout of my Bootstrap page, I must use a container class or a container fluid class. Container or container fluid. Okay, two options. When I want to divide my web page into rows, I will use a div, and inside that I will use a class row. If I want to use only one row, I will use only one div inside the container. Okay, now I said that one row is divided into maximum 12 columns. Again, I'm coming to my web page over here. Let's say this is my web page, and I use a class container, and over here I create a row. Okay, now when I create a row, and for example this is a column. Okay, I create one column inside this row over here. Just my question is, how much is the width size of my column? Okay, because I just want to know that what is the width size, what is the width of my column, in maybe if I'm using a small device, or maybe I'm using my medium device or a large device or extra small. So the answer is over here. You can find at this place on the screen. Again, come to my screen and look at this place. I use the class collex, and what is the size of the column width? You can see, as I said, when I am using extra small, it meaning to say is container width is not defined and the column width is also not defined. Okay, it is a fluid automatically. And when I am using a small device, it meaning to say is, now look at the paper. When I use this web page, maybe on the mobile device, maybe greater than 320, and maybe I'm talking about the small devices, and maybe the width is greater than 7, 6, 8 pixels. Okay, so it meaning to say is, I am saying that container width is 750 pixel. Okay, and in that case, over here the width of column is 62 pixel. It means 62 pixel over here. If I have another column 62 pixel over here, then I have another column 62 pixel over here. Okay, getting my meaning? Now, question which can again come in mind is, if I am saying 62, so if I'm using a small device and the column width is 62, so 62 into 12 is how much? 744. Okay, 744. Over here you can see 744, and he said I have a 750 pixel. Okay, just to let you understand. So one more thing you need to understand on this table. One thing here you can see gutter. What is a gutter? It is gaps between the column. Okay, columns content means it's a gutter width. 15 pixel on each side of a column. It meaning to say is whenever I use this grid system, in the right side 15 pixel gutter width, and in the left side I will get a 15 pixel gutter size. Okay, means that 15 pixels that 15 pixel is just the space which is of no use. Okay, so I can remove that gutter space also, which you will learn later. So you just need to understand that 62 for my small devices, and 62 pixel like this, I will get a 62 into 12. Okay. So I already explained the example of rows. This is the example of the row which I just explained to you. Now I am trying to give a little bit more clear picture of the grid system inside the Bootstrap. Just have a look on the screen. He said to split rows into a column. I said what? I said if I am using a container, it will give me the width of container. If I use a row, it will help me to create a row inside the container, but that row further I want to divide into columns. So how to divide that into column? For that, in Bootstrap we have 4 categories. Okay, for extra small device, for the small device, for the medium device, and for the large device. And for all these categories we have our classes. Okay, remember the name of the class. What is the syntax of the class? If I use a class extra small, so class name is COL, okay, hyphen XS, and over here is hyphen, and at this place after XS hyphen I will write the number of column, how much column I want to use. Okay, so you can see over here for my extra small, for my small medium, for my medium, and for my LG means large. Okay, this is the full picture. Class name defined over here. In the device, each row mean every row must have a, or if I will say one row can contain a width of maximum 12 columns. Okay, maximum 12 columns. And sometimes you need to consider all the points which are mentioned over here before you start to create a web page. The first point is every row in the web page must be placed within the container or a container fluid. Okay, this is what I explained. You need to use the row class to create the horizontal group of columns. Okay, meaning to say is maybe you want to divide that web page into rows, so you need to use row class. The website content should be placed within the column. When I want to display the content, it must be inside the column. And to create a column, we have 4 different types of classes. Now he said use the predefined grid classes such as row and call x. Now see, you can see here the example, call x4. It means to say is I want to create a column whose width is what? Whose width is equal to the 4 column. Okay, I will give the example, then you will understand. Then last point I am saying is if more than 12 columns are placed within a single row. Just think that I said in one row you can place maximum 12 columns. How about if I put 15 columns in one row? So the answer is my computer will do what? First 12 columns he will display in the first row, and rest 3 columns he will club them, means make a group of these 3 and put into the next line. Okay, this is how Bootstrap works. Try to understand example over here now, but I think I will display it on my computer so that you can get a clear picture. So please look at the pictures. Please hide my video. Of course, we can provide the nesting of row. I will explain it later. We can create a column inside the column. That is not a problem. Okay. I need more 10 minutes and then I will stop for today. I just want to explain the structure of Bootstrap today, and from tomorrow we will start to create a website using a Bootstrap. Just more 10-15 minutes I need so that I can help you to understand the structure of a Bootstrap only. How I can create a column inside that row. Okay, only this thing I need to understand. Just 10-15 minutes maximum. Okay. Look at my screen here again. I am trying to make a Bootstrap grid system. Okay. I will run this page first. Look at this. This is something we have created until now using HTML5 and CSS. I have created one row, and the first row contains the space of all 12 elements. So 12 columns. Okay. Second row, what I did is I tried to divide the second row into 2 parts, and the third one, it is taking the space of all 12 columns. Okay. Let's have a look of the coding part now. See this place. Look at this place. I said I want to make a container. Okay, it's given over here. I want to make a row, first row. It's okay, coming over here. Then what I did is I want to make a second row, and further I want to divide that row into 2 parts. two parts. Okay, so I will remove this first so that you can understand. See here what I said. I said I want to create a row, and that row I want to divide into two columns, and the first column will contain a width of 9 columns. You can see div class SM. So when I'm saying class SM9, so SM mean what? Small device. Okay. Prior to this is what? XS, and after this is what? SM, MD, and LG. Okay. Now it meaning to say is what? It means that whenever I will try to open this page on a device screen whose size is greater than 750. Greater than 750 means 750, 800, 900, 1200 or 1500, any other device whose size is greater than 750. He will do what? He will create a column, first column who will take a width of 9, and the second column who will take a width of 3. So it meaning to say is, if I try to run this on the screen, right now my screen size is maybe around 1000. So I will try to make it little small. See? Okay. Now see this place. It means what? It means that whenever the size of the screen become lesser than 750, it will behave like extra small, because extra small is a default class in the grid system. So whenever I try to open this page on small device, it will display my web page like this. Okay, like this on small devices. When I will go to my medium device, maybe I will try to make the size bigger. Maybe now I am in the era which I am using a medium device screen. You can see over here again I am getting a second column divided into 2. If I have a full screen now, for example full screen, okay, full screen, so it means maybe I am using a large device screen, so I will get the same effect. I will not get the same effect at that time when I will open this page in a small device screen. Let's say, try to understand with example. I will try to open this on a iPhone. See here, I hope you can understand. When I am trying to open this page in a small size screen, you can see okay. If this is a iPad, if this is not a iPhone, if this is iPad, now you can see. Can see here now. Some problem with this desktop. So you can see over here, I will try to change the orientation. See, I hope you understand what I am trying to explain. I am trying to explain is, if over here I use a call SM9, it means the row will create one column which will take a space of 9 columns, okay, 9 columns of bootstrap, and another column will get a space of 3 columns, okay, bootstrap 3 column. So SM is smaller than medium and large device, okay. LG means SM class is smaller than MD class and LG class. So whatever effect you are applying in SM, it will also apply on MD class, and it will also apply on the large, okay. Because when I try to make this, I said SM9, but it will not take effect on the class whose name is XS, because XS is smaller than this. So whenever I try to open this web page in a maybe on the small device screen, it displayed me one by one, okay, one by one, all 4 rows one by one. Why? Because this is happening because something like this. I said if I am using a small device, this column will further divide into 12 columns, and the second column will also divide into 12 columns. So earlier I have something like this. I told you that whenever it exceeds 12, now you can see this row contains how many columns? 12 is here and 12 is here, 24. So my computer will do what? My computer will display. Please show on this one. My computer will do what? My computer, this device found that I'm not in the era of SM and I'm in the era of XS. So he will do what? First row he will display like this, and the last row he will display like this, because over here is 12 and over here is 12. And when it comes to the middle row, 12 plus 12 becomes a 24. So as I said, he will display only 12 columns in the one row. So he will do what? He will display first 12 column in the first row over here, and these 12 he will show in the next row. So this is the reason that when you run this page on the smaller device, let's try to understand on this browser. I'm coming to this 100% and I try to make it small. When I will go less than 750, you can see over here it is further changed to 4, okay, 4 rows. In fact there are 3 rows, but at this place I already used the space of 12 columns, and this is taking a space of 12 columns. Okay, any doubt? Yes, please, any doubt? Any doubts? Okay, look at the example here. Or we will wind for today, and we will do it maybe tomorrow morning. Okay. If you have any question, then you people can ask the questions, clear your doubts, and from tomorrow morning we will start a bootstrap. Bootstrap is one of the most important topic which we will cover in this course, and the lesson number 9 and lesson number 10 are one of the most important topics we will cover in this course. Most of the questions which you will find in FSCT is from lesson number 8 and 9 and 10. The practical one question, okay? So I think that you need to pay more attention in lesson number 8 and lesson 9 and lesson 10. If you have any questions, then you can raise your questions, and then we will wind up for today, and we will continue tomorrow morning. Tomorrow's session, we will stretch the session till 1:30 because there is some another training over here. So tomorrow we will start from 9 and we will finish at 1:30, and then we will not start from 3:30, we will start from 4. Okay. So you can plan your time according to that. If you have any doubts related to Bootstrap, then please ask, and I also need the attentions of all people. Give me your attendance, please. Yes, please, everyone. Whoever is available, give me your attendance. 3 people I already found that they were missing in the session time, so I will mark their absent, and rest other people, please give me the attendance. Puneet is here, Ashwara is here, Nikhil is here. Yes, Nikhil, I think I will explain about the columns tomorrow morning again. Okay, I will try to explain from the beginning, from the rows onward. Okay, so a container, I think container concept is clear and the row concept is clear. How to create the columns inside the row, that I will explain from the beginning tomorrow morning. Okay. 4, 5, 12 people are here. I think I can see 12 people, but only 5 people are giving their attendance. Let me see. Some people may be logged in with the guest, and I don't know their name exactly. Please, you can write down your name. Few participants, I can see that they are logged in with the guest. So are they participant? If they are participant, please write down your name. You people have not submit your assignments until now. Maybe 2 or 3 times I already requested, but nobody is listening to me. Only 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7%. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Who is not comfortable with jQuery? If you have any problem related to jQuery, please you can write down to me. My email ID is sukesh.kumar. Sorry, sukesh.sharma. sukesh.sharma@nit.com. Whatever is your problem, you can just write to me and I will try to help. Okay. Families are also here. I request you people to just spend some more time on jQuery, okay? Spend time on jQuery and JavaScript. This Bootstrap is totally different topic than the earlier you studied like jQuery. This is again something which we use in lesson number 1, 2, 3, 4, okay? So Bootstrap is that. And then lesson number 9 and lesson number 10 is totally based on mobile. So you can send me your email, okay? This guest02. Try to go through SG. I think in my SG I have written each and everything very clear. If still you did not understand, then please get back to me, okay? Or you can take help of maybe any online web. So many webs. I told you in the morning you can go through maybe a WC School or Tutorials Point, or you can visit to directly to the jQuery.com. Okay, you can get a help of jQuery. Any other person have any questions or any doubt? I request everyone, please send me the assignment. Okay, I have to show that you learn something. This feedback will also go to your center. You getting my meaning? Only 2 person, I think till now I have got only 2 persons assignments. If you will not send me the assignment, how I will give that to your maybe report to your center? Okay. Try to understand. Take care. See you tomorrow.